Hello, my fabulous friends. I hope you're doing well. As you can tell, I'm back home on the tarot table, and we've got Trump talking to Carney, the Prime Minister of Canada, and talking again about the 51st state. So I'm going to ask the Citadel here, how serious is Trump about this? How serious is Canada about this? What's going on? Canada is in an absolute mess right now. Um, I'm not even sure how we will ever get out of it. I did the reading, Alberta separation. Looks like Alberta will eventually separate. Canada's going to try and fight it. But let's see, how serious is Trump about annexing Canada? How serious? How serious is he? How serious is Trump about annexing Canada? And if he is, when is he considering this? What's going on? Canada, the 51st state, or will it just be part of Canada? Alberta, for example. Alberta, Saskatchewan, some of our provinces. Alberta's, almost halfway there as Texas North. A lot of people don't realize it. When Alberta first became a province in 1905, 55% of our population were Americans from Montana and Wyoming. So perhaps that's why we have a little bit more of a Western feel to our province, more so than the other ones. All right, cards are ready. The Witch, experimentation, rebellion. You know, interesting, this is the full moon. And I think Trump was experimenting with the verbiage, with the language, with the tossing it back and forth, just to see, would Carney rebel from that? Like, why didn't he say, of course not, like, oh, you must be joking, or laugh or something? He just sat there like a limp biscuit, like kind of off guard. The Chronomancer, delivering news, collaboration. These two are absolutely not on the same page whatsoever. And this, in some respects, is not a handout. Yeah, there's no collaboration. There's no agreement. The Queen, determination, sacrifice. I wonder if now that the Queen is gone, Trump has, and he just did that big state banquet. Did he talk to King Charles about it? Is that why it's back on the table with Carney there? He hasn't really banged on about the 51st state for a while, and he gets back from the state visit in the UK with the King, and this determination, sacrifice. Is he more determined now? Did they talk about something? The Sleeper, cause and effect, clarity. And the Sailor, new influences, wanderlust. Okay, I think something is going on in the background. I don't think there's an agreement to be had. I think for the Canadian Prime Minister, I think that I'm going to say that this is not a definite no. At all. Interesting, there's hands over here. I'm thinking that Carney was caught off guard. I actually think that something went on when Trump was in the UK with the King. I honestly do. The Guide, inheritance, correction, another hand, and ringing the bell. I actually think that Carney was off. He was really caught off guard. Really, let's see more here. The Hound, loyalty, chains, promises, another sword. Look at this sword going up and this sword going down here. I think that Trump and the king have something going, and Carney is out in the cold. Perhaps Trump has promised the king he wouldn't annex Canada. Perhaps this has something to do with getting rid of Carney. Let's see what's going on here. The Sentinel, determination, certainty. Look at that on the sleeper here. We're not getting a no. We're getting somebody was side blinded with that, completely caught off guard. Also, Trump talked about transgender, and one of Carney's children is transgender. And Trump talked about the harm of it and whatnot, talked about the wokeness and whatnot. It's almost as if he was telling Carney, I've got something going on here and you're not even part of it. You're not even at the same table we're sitting at. The runaway, secrets, running from problems. Well, it would solve a lot of Canada's problems. The captain, taking command, teamwork. That's the first big no I've gotten. Okay, so if it is going to be the 51st state, it's certainly not Trump's doing. Let's continue on. The enchanter, deception, trickery. Okay, obviously, and then look at now, it's a hand, that's a skeleton. Okay, I actually think that Trump is pulling Carney's leg. I think, though, Trump did talk to the king about Canada. Like, Trump does, he's a deal maker. He's the art of the deal. If you don't think he talked to the king about Canada, then you're not paying attention. Does he want all parts of Canada? Probably not. But this was some kind of, this opened up some kind of door to Carney, some kind of message to Carney. Ooh, the orator, communication, confidence. Yes, that's definitely Trump. That's not Carney at all. Okay, communication, confidence. There was some kind of secret message in that. There was some kind of shots fired warning to Carney. He was blindsided by it. He had no idea that he thought they were going to talk tariffs. Well, you're talking tariffs with two sovereign countries, right? I'm getting that Trump might have said something to him that said, well, I have been talking to the king, and this is what the king and I, so making it feel like Carney was the outsider in his own country. And in some respects, this is all some kind of, look at skull here, skeleton, hand. It was almost as if, vengeance, overcoming slights of choice. I'm taking that this is shots fired. This is definitely shots fired. Aspirant, ambitions, diligence, setbacks. The hunter, the patron, mentorship, finances. The masquerade, hiding your true self, projection. I think that's exactly what happened. Trump was almost the messenger, delivered a message to Carney. And we'll see if Carney heard it loud and clear. Finances were talked. Carney talked about investing and whatnot. And even Trump said, nobody wants cars from Canada. Because I don't know any Americans would buy a car from Canada. Let's get a clarifier here. Ooh, interesting. Foundation stone, building something, steps, origins. Are these all? Oh yeah, so these are this way. Okay, so see, some kind of foundation was, let's see, crown. Empowerment, status, authority. Yeah, Trump was saying, the king and I are on the same page with all of this. Don't you know, I just saw him. And we are starting now the foundation of doing something. So let's wrap it up. I think that Carney was caught off guard. I think Trump is definitely working with the king on something to do with Canada, something to do with finances, something. Trump went stepped over Carney's head, over the chain of command, went directly to the source. And even though the king, I know everyone's typing right now, he can't do it. Yeah, he can. Yeah, he can. Just because they haven't, go read the Constitution, go read the constitutional monarchy. He can dissolve parliament. He can call a new election. He can recall, like, yeah, he can. And just because they haven't doesn't mean they won't. All right? So everybody calm down. So it sounds like the foundation for Canada becoming the 51st state, the stones are being laid. It's not going to happen anytime soon, but messages were sent. Messages were sent. What's this next one wants to show itself? The torch, hope, sight, clarity. I'm going to say that Trump is like a dog with a bone. Once he gets an idea in his head, it's really tough to shake it from him if he thinks it's a good idea. And I honestly believe he talked to the king about this and went over Carney's head, and that's why he shot Carney. Carney did not know that they talked about this. There's some kind of backdoor deal. It might take a while, but the foundations have been laid. Now, that was so interesting because between the time Trump was visiting the king and the time that Trump saw Carney, reports started leaking out that the United States, this is high level United States administrators, would recognize an independent Alberta. I want to quickly ask, these cards have all been played, so I'll put them down. Is Trump mostly interested in Alberta? 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 Or a section of Canada? Let's put it that way. Is Trump mostly interested in a section of Canada? Is Trump mostly interested in this section of Canada? Veil, the beyond esoterica subconscious. So he's keeping his cards close to his chest. Scorpion, danger, accident, subterfuge. We might hear something during Scorpio season. We might hear something during Scorpio season about that, which is, I think it starts October 23rd to November 21st-ish. Something like, it changes every year. So I think we might hear something more about it. But I think there's something going on. Let's just say where there's smoke, there's fire. Where there's smoke, there's fire. All right. Thank you very much for watching. Please take good care. See you online. Bye for now.